Welcome to another week of Turnpike Sports. I am Dave Weishuttle, and as always, I am joined by producer and co-host Doug Weishuttle. Doug, what's up?
The NBA season is up.
And
it finally got here.
And I lost money on it already. You know, the Sixers couldn't keep within 5 of the Celtics, really. Thanks a lot, Sixers.
It was interesting to see Markelle Fultz start.
Yeah, boy, he is. Boy, a number 1 draft pick gets the yips. He has sat out most of last year. I mean, he barely played. And now he's getting, he's still afraid.
Yeah, I'd like to say he's a work in progress, but
He's not.
Something happened to him last year, something with his shooting motion or something. They tried to fix it, or they really fixed it because he sucks.
Boy, well, hey, you know what? It's only one game, so let's see what happens moving forward. But it's very interesting. Number 1 overall pick, and it's going like this.
And the Sixers traded to get that pick.
Yep.
And they went for him, and they went over, what was the kid on the Celtics that they played against?
Yeah.
Jason Tatum?
Boy, did
I didn't think Tatum was going to be that good.
Danny Ainge picked the pocket of the 76ers. Well, good for Danny Ainge.
Ainge is turning out to be a really good general manager. I have to admit that.
He's very good.
I'm not a Celtics fan. I'm a Sixers fan, but you got to give it to Ainge. He probably is one of the best talent evaluators I've seen in a long time.
And also, another big question in the NBA is how the Lakers are going to do. I think not a lot of people are picking them to win the West, but it should be interesting how they play with the other teams out there, how they interact, how they move up and down the schedule.
I think everybody's just curious to see what LeBron does against the Golden State Warriors, the Thunder, and also the Rockets. Everybody else, I don't think they care about watching them.
I'm very shocked that the Ball family has been very quiet this offseason. I thought there'd be outspoken comments on any given subject, but no, it's been pretty quiet. It's been pretty respectful, and
you don't
be interesting.
You don't upset King James.
No, I guess not. Well, like I said, it's been a busy week, and let's take a ride on the Turnpike. And this week's trip down the Turnpike is sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 different online lottery games today, including their new Halloween-themed games, all online at the Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code RADIO10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code RADIO10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online.
Exit 1.
Sports betting time, but when isn't a sports betting time all of a sudden?
Boy, it's always busy with sports betting.
Everything is sports betting. New Jersey released their numbers this past week, and at G2E, the Global Gaming Expo, the head
what does G2E stand for, by the way?
Global Gaming Expo.
Where's the 2 come into?
G2E, 2 Gs.
Oh, okay. I'm like trying to figure out where the numeral 2 comes from, and they're saying, okay, all right, I get it now. I get it now.
G squared E sounded too mathematical, I think, for everybody.
I was always afraid to ask someone about that, and it'd make me look stupid, so I figured I'd do it on air so everyone can see me look stupid. I never thought it was the 2 Gs. I was wondering why the 2 thing went.
Well, it wasn't E's, 2 E's. It was 2 Gs.
2
Global
Gs.
Gaming Expo out in Vegas. Head of the Division of Gaming Enforcement for New Jersey, Dave Rebuck, told everybody that the numbers wouldn't disappoint and that they were, what was the
I think he used the word stunning, which I really wouldn't have used that word because, you're building stuff up and, who knows if it'd be stunning in other people's eyes, but I got to tell you, it was kind of stunning.
He did not disappoint. And he said these numbers wouldn't. New Jersey brought in almost $184 million in wagers during the month of September. That was almost double what they did in August.
Well, it's football. It's football.
And, I think it's also more and more books are coming online, too.
Yeah.
As more and more spread around.
And we spoke to John Brennan this week, and he thinks that the numbers may be even bigger in October because, you have baseball, you have football, you have hockey, and you have basketball. So, it'd be interesting to see what the October numbers are going to be.
Well, again, it's going to be dependent upon how many more books open, how many other sports and other prop bets, and also what the promotional offer some of these books are going to be offering people. I mean, everywhere you go, Play Sugar House was offering something different than FanDuel. FanDuel was offering something different than DraftKings, all the way down the line. But September brought in $184 million in wagers. The hold was $24 million. That's the revenue that everybody saw. And it's just growing by leaps and bounds here, and you have FanDuel and DraftKings leading the way, with DraftKings killing it.
Well, DraftKings were the first to jump online, so I guess they have the advantage on that one.
Yeah, and you also, two others you can't forget about, Borgata and Monmouth Park. Both had $2 million in handle, and the state got $2.6 million in tax revenue.
There you go.
So that's what this is all about.
Yep.
It's the tax revenue. Speaking of Atlantic City, Hard Rock Atlantic City finally has a deal in place to get a sports book with Gaming Innovation Group, GIG.
It was interesting when we first heard them. The reason why they didn't have a sports book right off the bat was because they had some issues with the NFL and naming rights in the Miami Dolphins Stadium, correct?
That's part of it.
Okay.
I think they wanted to see how the market shook out, and they may have been one of the smarter ones, and instead of rushing it, they're going to launch everything all at once, it looks like. Okay. Mobile, online, and also a physical sports book. But they have a letter of intent in place with GIG for them to handle all the operations of the Boardwalk Properties sports betting operations.
It was interesting for Hard Rock. I heard, and it's true, they were the only property in Atlantic City that didn't have either a sports book or a poker room, which was an interesting thing about Hard Rock. When you think of Hard Rock, it's a gorgeous property. You walk in there, it's beautiful. They do up the entertainment right. They have amazing restaurants. They have amazing staff, amazing service. But, they just didn't have those two things. So I
think you're going to see a poker room at some point. Because,
they don't need one.
Well, no, I think what they may do, Harrah's and Caesars has the World Series of Poker rooms. They may do some with World Poker Tour.
Maybe. Who knows?
I mean, Borgata's got the World Poker Tour with Party Poker with the online stuff there, but you may see a WPT branded room there.
It's an enormous property, and they can do anything they want with it. And they have amazing stages, amazing concert venues, and, they can easily put something in there.
And, they're going to have some sports operations there, too.
Good.
I'm not talking about sports books. I'm talking about, like, MMA and boxing and all that other stuff. You're going to see more of that down in Atlantic City anyway. So you may see some other things happening, but they're not going to go without a poker room too much longer. Right. I can't see that.
Back to the sports book. I mean, they have a lot to work up to bypass the Ocean Resort sports book. Boy, that was gorgeous.
It's a gorgeous sports
Beautiful.
book. And also you have VSIN in there now.
Yeah, VSIN just signed a deal. I think they're building a studio for them.
They have a studio.
They have a studio.
It's overlooking the sports book, as a matter of fact.
We were in there, and we were thinking, hey, is that little nook where VSIN will be? But
they took a conference room upstairs above the sports book, overlooking
it. And it overlooks it. So when their panel is there, you're going to see behind them in the sports book. Okay, that's cool.
Whenever you see them in Ocean Resort, and it's going to be on the weekends, the show. It's a 2 or 3 hour show, Saturday and Sunday in the morning before all the football games. You can look down behind them through the glass, and you can see the board, the big board that Ocean Resort has there. So really good job on their part. But
let me tell you something. Any media company that wants to get involved in sports betting, they need to have a live Sunday show if they want to get involved during the NFL season, and it has to be on the East Coast because that has the biggest population, and you're right in front of the games. I mean, you don't want to wake up 4:00 in Vegas to do a Sunday show.
How about if you were doing it from Hawaii?
Yeah, boy,
that would be 1:00 in the morning. But other things in Jersey, two interesting things. Governor Murphy signed a new bill which is going to give which assigns an additional 1.25% tax on sports betting revenue, and it's going to be earmarked for the CRDA, the Casino Reinvestment Development Authority, for the marketing and promotion of Atlantic City. So more money's going to come in to help market the city. And we have this little maneuver by Play Sugar House, which just happened recently because of the when the NBA opened up. Play Sugar House was taking bets on NBA action. Now, they had originally opened up under the Golden Nugget license, and Golden Nugget was forbidden from doing any NBA action on their sports books, both online and physical. But Play Sugar House was.
Well, explain why, because I first thought it was a more limited NBA thing, but I found out that it's an entire NBA.
The owner of Golden Nugget is Tillman Fertitta, and Tillman Fertitta also owns the Houston Rockets, which is an NBA team.
See, I was under the assumption that they were forbidden to take any bets on the Houston Rockets.
They didn't,
but now I find out it's either forbidden to take any bets on the entire
they
NBA.
They never got the actual carve out just for Rockets.
Okay,
games.
All right.
So,
which now makes the Play Sugar House move a little more logical.
And it's interesting because they chose for their sports betting operation to go on to Play Sugar House.
Okay.
Sorry. Play Sugar House went to Monmouth Park and put their online sports book on the Monmouth Park license.
Which is another beautiful sports book, by the way.
Yes, by William Hill.
William Hill.
And so they're going to be, sports betting operations online are going to be for Play Sugar House with Monmouth, but the online casino with Play Sugar House is going to stay with Golden Nugget. So they split their license, one for online casino, one for sports betting. Something new with West Virginia now. They just announced their numbers for their first couple of weeks in operation. Just under $10 million in wagers were taken,
which is outstanding, I think, for West Virginia.
For technically one book.
It's one book.
There's officially two books because of the Hollywood Casino in Charlestown, and then you have the FanDuel Sportsbook in Greenbrier.
Which, by the way,
it's a private casino.
It's a private casino, which makes it a private sports book, which is very odd.
No, it's
very odd.
I don't know if you can actually consider that on the same par as some of these other books coming down the road, because FanDuel got that just for the mobile betting, which is coming soon.
Sure.
So,
I mean, and let me tell you something. That revenue figure is great, considering, like you said, there's no mobile betting yet. There's no online betting yet. And you know what? It's a state without a professional team of any kind. I mean, you have the West Virginia Mountaineers and was it Vanderbilt?
Some people consider the Mountaineers a professional team.
I know.
Down there especially.
I know. It's the developmental league for the NFL. But for that to do that well with, not a lot of sports books, not a lot of mobile, absolutely no professional sports, it's pretty impressive, I think.
Yep. And you know what? There's two more books coming in West Virginia plus the mobile betting. So
there you go.
That's a great start, $10 million. Two quick little notes here. We have Wynn Resorts doing a deal with a European sports betting company, BetBull. Wynn gets 22.5% ownership of the company, and we're the full details weren't disclosed yet, but everyone's assuming BetBull is going to be able to do some, I would say, sports betting operations in the United States under Wynn's license.
Yeah, I think they're going to work under the license for the Wynn Resorts.
Yeah, I think so. And then you have the Australian online bookmaker PointsBet. They're planning a launch in New Jersey, and they just signed former 76er Allen Iverson as their brand ambassador.
I love that. Yeah, we're big Sixers fans, so we're a big Allen Iverson fans.
So the answer,
if I was right, I should have got that practice clip. We're talking about practice.
Well, they're going to have a series of ads featuring Iverson, where the answer, that's his nickname, is going to be answering questions about PointsBet.
Nice. Okay, great.
And from what I understand, it's a unique little setup. PointsBet is basically you do better and you earn more with more accurate bets. As your bets get more accurate, that's how they reward you.
Oh, okay. So is this real money or
it's real money?
It's real money. Okay, wow.
They're outside the United States. They're operating. They're an Australian-based company, and they have a little unique way of doing their points.
That should be interesting.
Exit 2.
Speaking of sports books, every time you go to a sports book, you need two things: the betting and the bar. Caesars is taking the sports book, sports bar experience to a whole new level with what they're calling the book.
Okay.
This is at the Link Hotel and Casino in Vegas. Now, it was actually kind of interesting that this is going to feature, and I'm going to get the number right because I don't want to screw up the thing, televisions as large as 98 inches. Now, that is huge. That's the size of probably half a wall.
Okay, yeah, but I mean, how is it different than? Is it just their big televisions and high resolution that makes them different from other books?
87 televisions.
Okay, wow. Okay,
and besides having robots deliver non-alcoholic beverages to where you're sitting,
okay,
where you can sit are going to be called fan caves.
All right,
these are rentable living rooms inside
okay.
what's called the book. They're going to be. You can rent them out for the day for you and your friends. You're going to have the 98-inch guest-controlled televisions. You have your own remote for those TVs in there.
All right.
You get Xboxes, virtual reality headsets, your own unique audio system, bottle and drink service, and also your drink coasters are going to be able to trigger virtual reality games that you can play.
Wow. Okay. It's So much for concentrating on the actual game. You have so much stimulus going around you. It's going to be amazing.
This is the experience of a sports book done by Caesars at the link in the book. They even had an opening event. They didn't call it a grand opening party. They called it a grand opening event where the president of Caesars threw the opening touchdown pass to Terrell Owens.
That's pretty cool.
And they had a celebratory spike after he caught it.
All right. Well, hey, I think in Vegas that might be the first stop of every bachelor party there is. See a little bit of the game, then hit the gentlemen's clubs after that. So.
Well, that might be the last stop, too.
Well, if you want to watch games, you don't know.
No, and you could bet there.
There you go.
And you're going to be able to do it on your phone from your couch in the man cave.
Exit 3.
Puma is getting back into the basketball business.
First off, I'm glad you said it right. Earlier today, how did you say?
I kept calling it Puma.
No, don't say Puma. It's Puma.
Puma.
I'm probably saying it wrong, but I refuse to say Puma.
I could say it either way, but because I'm not getting that money that they're doling out to everybody.
It's like saying the W in Cool Whip.
What are you, Stewie?
Cool Whip.
All right, Stewie. But this is after 20 years of not being in basketball. Last season, Nike was the leader. They had 68% of the league wearing their shoes. Puma is now going out on a spending spree. They've signed a whole bunch of rookies, established players. They even had the WNBA star Skylar Diggins-Smith as a new sneaker wearer. Mm-hmm. They're doing a relaunch of what they called the 1973 Classic Clyde. That's what they used to call it, named after Clyde Frazier. So they're calling it the Clyde Court Disrupt.
Let me tell you something. Anything with Clyde Frazier is perfect in my eyes. I think he is great. That's the greatest thing about the NBA season. Looking at Clyde Frazier and what he wears every night doing the Knicks game, it's outstanding.
He still wears Puma shoes.
It's outstanding.
He's got to deal with them. The two big guys.
I have a Puma sweatshirt, so I should.
I know.
I'm going to rock it down in the Madison Square Garden.
It's nice.
Yell out Clyde.
It's nice seeing Puma back on the court.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
They just signed DeMarcus Cousins. That's their big signing. And supposedly they're going to be signing Kawhi Leonard as well over in Toronto.
Okay.
So they're going out on a spending spree. They're spending as much money as possible. And
I like Puma. Puma's great.
It's nice seeing it. I mean, it's better than seeing just one brand.
I loved Puma
wearing.
as a kid. I always wore Puma.
Exit 4.
We're going to NASCAR now. NASCAR has finally got an official moonshine partner.
Moonshine.
Boy. Sugarland's Distilling Company signed a 5-year sponsorship deal.
Okay.
NASCAR had always been known for beer sponsors. 2005, they lifted the ban on distilled liquors.
Okay.
It's taken them this long for the NASCAR body itself to actually land a distilled liquor sponsor. Some of the individual cars have them.
Okay.
But this is for the entire league.
Well, let me ask you a practical fan question. What does this mean for the average fan? Does this mean I can go to a race and go to the
Sugarland's distillery stand
and I can get moonshine, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, so I can drink hard liquor in the stands in NASCAR.
I think you always could, not legally.
Well, hey.
But no, they're going to have all this stuff branded.
It's legal. So,
Sugarlands is going to be branding a lot of their stuff with NASCAR logos on it.
Nice. All
so
right.
it's nice to see that. It took 14 years, but NASCAR finally has it. And NASCAR was born from bootlegging anyway. They always say the term stock car comes from the bootleggers because they look stock on the outside like they just came off the assembly line, but underneath the hood they were anything but a stocked car.
Well, hey, you know, the only thing, growing up in New Jersey, the only thing I knew about stock cars and moonshine is the Dukes of Hazzard. So if now NASCAR is going to be more like the Dukes of Hazzard, I guess. So it's you get moonshine and fast cars and
bad acting.
Well, yeah, probably.
All right. Well, that's the ride on the Turnpike for today. To get in touch with the show, you can call or text us at 609-512-6510, 609-512-6510. Hit us up on Facebook or Twitter at Turnpike Sports for each of those. Email us at info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Don't forget to order your International Bikini Team calendar. Info@internationalbikini-team.org is the email address for your ordering information. You can catch the show. iTunes, iHeartMedia, the podcast platform, we're on there. Stitcher Radio, YouTube, and if you go to turnpikesportsradio.com and click on the podcast button, you'll see it there too.
And remember, this week's trip down the Turnpike was sponsored by the Michigan Online Lottery. Choose from over 50 different online lottery games today, including their new Halloween-themed games, all online at the Michigan Lottery. And now get 10 free games of Queen of Diamonds when you sign up using our promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. That's promo code Radio10 at MichiganLottery.com. Must be at least 18 years or older, a Michigan resident, and in Michigan to play online. Hey, stick around. We got our pick segment. I would have done great if it wasn't for the dumb Chicago Bears. I know.
You got Brock.
I got Osweiler. Oh, damn you, Osweiler. Stick around. We'll be right back with more Turnpike Sports. Hey, this is Dave Weishuttle from Turnpike Sports with this week's Bet Flash. Early last week, the head of the New Jersey Division of Gaming Enforcement, David Rebuck, hinted that the monthly figures that were coming out for sports betting in the state would be stunning. He was right, since the Garden State Sportsbooks took in $184 million worth of wagers in the month of September. Wynn Resorts is getting into the sports betting game. Wynn announced last week that it has signed a partnership agreement with BetBull Limited, a digital betting company out of the UK. Full details of the partnership were not announced, but Wynn will take a 22.5% stake in the company, and it's likely that BetBull will use Wynn's gambling license to gain a presence in the US. And finally, it was the agony of defeat for some NFL bettors this weekend. Prior to the Dolphins-Bears game, it was announced that the starting quarterback for Miami, Ryan Tannehill, would be out and replaced by Brock Osweiler. MGM Sportsbooks reported that several six-figure bets were placed on the Bears, and William Hill reported twice as much money was bet on that game than any other game. Well, the Bears lost in overtime, which means a lot of bettors lost a lot of money. From the seaside to the desert, from the betting lines to the sites online, Turnpike Sports has got you covered. And be sure to follow us on Twitter at Turnpike Sports.
A real abandoned prison in Philadelphia becomes the #1 haunted attraction in America. Terror Behind the Walls at Eastern State Penitentiary, presented by Lukoil, with a new infirmary attraction for 2018. Are you brave enough to opt in for a more intense experience? You could be grabbed, sent into hidden passageways, and even separated from your group. Save $10 with coupons from any Lukoil location. TerrorBehindTheWalls.com.
Join us at TropicanaCasino.com, where you get more everything. Sign up today with promo code Radio15 and get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back. We have more than 200 games to enjoy, plus new and rewarding promotions every week. Come experience what TropicanaCasino.com is all about. Enjoy your favorite slot and casino games, including Cleopatra, Wheel of Fortune, Blackjack, and many more right here at TropicanaCasino.com. Plus 21 over and Oakland, New Jersey play. New patrons only. Terms and conditions apply. See TropicanaCasino.com for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
We'll get right back to the show, but I want to take a minute to talk to you about Being Genius. How would you like your coffee delivered right to your door every month, maybe 2 times a month. Well, now that can happen with Bean Genius. Bean Genius sells freshly roasted coffee from some of the best independent coffee roasters in the country at beangenius.com. And Bean Genius actually learns their customers' individual taste preferences, then suggests future coffee blends for them. Well, how do they do that? Well, this is the cool thing about Bean Genius. Over at beangenius.com, they use an algorithm which learns the coffee flavors you like and then pairs up what you like with the coffee that they have in stock. And it's all based upon you. Every time you order, the system learns. The system learns your preferences as you go along and order more and more coffee. And now, all our listeners at Turnpike Sports can get a special offer. You head on over to beangenius.com/subscription, and you'll be able to get 10% off your purchase when you use our promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E, at checkout. That's 10% off at beangenius.com/subscription with promo code PIKE, P-I-K-E. beangenius.com, the smart specialty coffee subscription service.
Free stuff is awesome, but free stuff that will spice up your bedroom is even better. Just go to adamandeve.com and select almost any one item for 50% off, and then we'll load on the free stuff. Just enter this very exclusive code, BABE16 at checkout, and you'll get 10 tantalizing free gifts, including a sexy item for him, a special toy for her, and a third item you'll both enjoy. And for your viewing pleasure, 6 free spicy movies on DVD. Plus, free shipping! Always sent in discreet packaging. So go to adamandeve.com now. Get 50% off plus 10 free gifts when you enter the exclusive offer code BABE16. Again, that's BABE16. Because without it, no free stuff. That's BABE16 at adamandeve.com.
Welcome back to Turnpike Sports. It's almost time for our pick section. But you know what? Before I get into that, I got to tell you, there were 2 games that fascinated me before they even took the field. You know, the Chargers and the Browns. I was talking to you about this last week. I was shocked that the Chargers were only 1-point favorite. But then Sunday morning came, and then they were 1-point underdogs. And I don't get the fascination with the Browns from the odds makers. It was simply mind-blowing to me. I still took the Chargers, and guess what? I won big. So I don't know what they were looking at in that game.
They were looking at Baker Mayfield and his effect on that Browns offense.
Usually the odds makers aren't that mesmerized by shiny new things. You know, that's what this is. I mean,
they also could have been looking to try and get action on the Browns because they knew the Chargers were probably going to win that game anyway. And the Chargers won that handily.
Yeah, 38-14.
The Browns were never in that game.
No, absolutely.
I will give the Browns credit. They do have a good defense.
They do. They're very, very good.
They're just inconsistent.
And the other game, of course, like many people, I went with the Bears over the Dolphins. You know, it was
so did I.
It was 3.5, and then the announcement came out that Ryan Tannehill was out and Brock Osweiler was in. And you know what? They went up to the Bears getting 6 points, 6-point favorite. Mm-hmm. And what was it? William Hill said that was the most bet-on game of the day.
They had that in both Vegas and Atlantic City. It was their most bet-on game.
Not only by a little bit. I mean,
by a lot.
It was double the amount bet on that game than any other game.
Yeah.
And like I said, the Bears were favored by 6 points, and they blew it.
The only thing I could see is that Brock Osweiler had not played in so long. He was that well rested.
No one had tape on him?
He was that well rested that he was able to do so well.
So
that's the only thing I could think of because I don't remember him playing that well ever.
Yep. Yeah, but the Bears kept me from a perfect week. Thank you, Chicago.
Well, I screwed up.
I blame all of Chicago.
Hey, I was just happy I won on the Chiefs. Yeah, I went with the Chiefs with the points.
Yeah, that was great, boy. What did you get?
I got 3.5, and the Patriots won on a last-second field goal, and they won by 3.
Yep.
So Well, let's get to the pick segment.
And this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by TropicanaCasino.com. They have more than 200 games to enjoy, plus new and rewarding promotions every week. Come experience what TropicanaCasino.com is all about. Now get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back when you sign up with a new account at TropicanaCasino.com with promo code Radio15. 21 years or older, terms and restrictions apply. Problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, and as always, this is how it works. We're each going to pick 3 teams this week.
I don't think we picked the same teams either, same games.
No, we have different teams this week. And as always, after the show is released, we're going to have the picks appear up on the Turnpike Sports blog over at turnpikesportsradio.com. Just go over there, and you can comment on them. You can email us. You can do whatever you want. We'll post them also on Facebook and Twitter the days of the on Sunday morning before the game, so you can take a look at them there too. And we'll see how we do. I mean, each week it's going to be something different, and it has been a kind of an interesting progress here. I mean, I had one week where I went 3-0, and I've yet to repeat that.
I came close to it because of the Bears again. I'll start off with the New Orleans Saints at the Baltimore Ravens. Baltimore is 2.5-point favored with an over-under of 49.5. Look, Baltimore has a great defense, and I love the way they're playing defense, but New Orleans is my favorite road team. In the last 2 road games, they've scored 76 points, and no defense is that good to stop that kind of point scoring. And the last 9 road games, they're 6-3 against the spread. Look, Drew Brees has been amazing this year. He's going to find a way to get the ball in the end zone because he always does. So I'm taking the underdog New Orleans Saints.
Drew Brees is going to be setting all the records this year.
Oh, absolutely.
I mean, what did he do? He just threw his, 500th touchdown pass, 2 weeks ago?
Yep.
Or last week, and he's got a passing record, a yardage record coming up too.
Sure,
he could actually achieve that possibly.
Probably.
We'll see what happens there. I'm going for my first game with the Carolina Panthers at the Philadelphia Eagles. Eagles are a 4.5-point favorite, and there's an over/under of 45.5. Now, Eagles are coming into the game relatively healthy, and after a shaky start to the season, they've been playing much better, especially since Carson Wentz has come back in. And Carson Wentz looks damn good lately. Mm-hmm. Eagles are 2-1 at home. The only time they did not win was that really rough loss against the Minnesota Vikings. I think that was 23-21 or 33-31, something like that. It was a really rough game for them because it came down to the wire for them.
Yeah.
Panthers, they're 3-0 at home, but unfortunately they're not playing at home. They're playing away, and on the road they haven't won yet. They're 0-3.
But lots of pressure on the Eagles, too. I mean, they lose this, they're 3-4. I mean, you can say all you want about a Super Bowl hangover, but, boy, this is bad. If they go 3-4.
Luckily, the division is terrible.
Oh, the division, I mean.
You could actually
The
win.
Giants are still in it. That's how bad this division is.
Yeah, and Giants are 1-5.
Yep.
So, but I think with the Eagles are leading the league in time of possession. And I think they're going to be able to keep McCaffrey and Cam Newton off the field long enough to actually do some really good work here. And I think the Eagles are the way to go here, and I'm picking the Eagles.
Well, speaking of the Giants, I went with the Giants. The New York Giants are at the Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons are a 6-point favorite with an over-under of 54.5. Giants played the Carolina Panthers and the Jacksonville Jaguars very close, and the Falcons don't have Freeman, their running back, or their kicker, Matt Bryant. And I think this game is going to get close. I mean, I don't think the Giants are going to win, but that 6 points is a lot considering what Atlanta is missing this week, so I'm taking the New York Giants to cover.
I don't see the Giants doing that.
6 points, that's a lot. That's a lot, especially Devontae Freeman is out. Their kicker, Matt Bryant, is out. Anytime a kicker is hurt, nothing good can come of that.
And they're playing where now?
They're playing in Atlanta.
See, I just think Atlanta might be too strong for them.
Yeah, I'm not picking the Giants to win. I just think that 6 points is way too much. No. Way too much.
All right. Well, my next game is Buffalo Bills at the Indianapolis Colts. Colts are a 7.5-point favorite.
I looked at this game, and I was just afraid. I just didn't know what to do with this.
I was afraid of this game, too, until what happened yesterday. The Bills, Josh Allen's hurt, and his elbow. And
I guess out for a couple weeks from
he's
what
out
I'm
3 to 4
understanding.
weeks. 3 to 4 weeks. And at the beginning of the season, the Bills had Tyrod Taylor, A.J. McCarron, and Josh Allen. That was their quarterbacks. They got rid of McCarron. They traded him away. They traded away Tyrod Taylor to the Browns. Now Taylor's hurt with the Browns, so that's a wash on that one. But they were left with Nathan Peterman, and they just signed Derek Anderson last week. So thinking, normal thinking would say start Peterman. He's familiar with the offense
Seriously,
and everything else.
How bad does Peterman? What a bad showing in practice he must have if they're choosing a quarterback they just got last week over him.
It
What
was
a mess.
It was interesting when the coaching staff came out and said the reason they went with Derek Anderson was because if they chose Peterman over Anderson, they would have lost the locker room.
Which I don't understand.
That's how bad Peterman plays. He started the first game of the season, and he just was not good.
Well.
So maybe he's just a good practicer because he still maintains his job.
Yeah.
So, but he's not starting. They're starting Derek Anderson, his first start, and I think in about 2 to 3 years. So, I'm gonna, you got to go with Andrew Luck and the Colts. They're going to get Frank Reich his first home win, and I'm going to go with the Colts here because I really have trouble seeing what the Bills' offense can do with a guy who's only been there for a week. Now, maybe he's familiar with the offense from another team, but I really don't see that offense doing anything, even against a defense as bad as the Colts. So I'm going with the Colts, I'll lay the points.
Yeah, no, I think that's a good pick. My next game is Cincinnati Bengals at the Kansas City Chiefs. The Chiefs are a 6-point favorite with an over-under of 58.5. Yeah, again, I think Kansas City is probably going to win this, but the Bengals are going to keep it close. I hate that 6-point spread. I mean, if you saw last week, if last week taught you anything, it shows that a good offense can score on the Chiefs, and guess what? The Bengals have a good offense, so I think that 6-point spread is way too much. I'm taking the Bengals to cover.
Bengals have been playing really good.
I think so. I think they're great. I think they're, like I said, I don't know if they're going to win, but that 6 points is a little too much for me.
They actually have a shot at winning the North because Pittsburgh's not what they are. The Browns are there, and also the Ravens are not as good as everyone thinks they are. And I just think the Bengals have the best shot at getting the AFC North title. So that's a good call on your part with that one. My last game of the week, Dallas Cowboys at Washington Redskins.
I looked at this one too.
Boy, I went with the NFC East this week, and I didn't even realize I did that making these picks. But
did you do all of them? Did you do all the?
You did the Giants. I did the Eagles, and I'm doing the Cowboys.
You didn't do the Giants.
I didn't do the Giants. So, but you took care of that for me by going with them. Redskins are a 1.5 favorite, over under 41. I've been watching Dallas over the last couple of weeks, and the team seems to be gelling a little bit better than it did at the beginning of the season, especially Prescott and Elliott. They're starting to get a rhythm together. The defense seems to be getting really, really good lately, and it's very impressive to see how this team is coming together after a really, really bad start. And in this division, you might see an 8-8, 9-7 team win this thing. And Dallas is playing good. Adrian Peterson could be a good key factor for Washington if he has a good game. I don't see that happening. I really don't. I just think Prescott, that offense, is doing such a good job. And Prescott's never lost to the Redskins in his career.
That's interesting.
So I don't see him doing it now either. I'm going with the Cowboys.
All right, sounds good. Oh, do we have to do a recap?
Well, we have to at least tell everybody these picks will be up on the blog.
Yeah.
Go to turnpikesportsradio.com, click on the blog button. You'll see them up probably within an hour or two of when we release this show. So go ahead and make your comments. There's a comment section there. You can email us your comments, info@turnpikesportsradio.com. Tweet them. Facebook them, whatever. We're going to be putting up all the points not only on the blog but also on Twitter and Facebook Sunday morning before the games, so you could take a look at it one more time and make fun of us one more time before the games start.
Okay, just to recap, I went with the Saints, the Giants, and the Bengals.
Eagles, Colts, and Dallas. So Enjoy the games, everybody.
Absolutely. And just as a reminder that this week's Pro Pick segment is sponsored by Tropicana Casino. They have more than 200 games to enjoy, plus new and rewarding promotions every week. Come experience what TropicanaCasino.com is all about. Now get $15 bonus money plus up to $100 real cash back when you sign up for a new account at TropicanaCasino.com with promo code Radio15. 21 years or older, terms and restrictions apply. Problem gambler, call 1-800-GAMBLER.
All right, everybody. Have a good weekend. Enjoy the football games, both pro and college. Enjoy the basketball. Enjoy the baseball playoffs, too.
Absolutely. What great games. Boy, they're going late in the night, and boy, they're taking a long time, but they're
actually worth it.
They're paying off. Well, we'll see you next time on the Turnpike.